A local bakery has determined the probability distribution of the number of cheesecakes that they sell in a given day. This table represents that, and we need to answer the question. So the first thing, we're going to copy the table and paste it into the Excel sheet. And we want to find that probability. What is the probability of selling 15 cheesecakes in a given day? So the probability of selling 15 cheesecakes in one day is basically this value right here. And since we know this is a probability distribution, the sum of all probabilities must be equal to 1. So this sum right here must be equal to 1. So the first step, I'm going to find the sum. And then I'm going to say 1 minus the value that I had is going to give me the answer. So the answer here is 0.27. So I'm going to answer here 0.27, and it's the same answer here, 0.27. What is the probability of selling at least 10 cheesecakes? That is either 10 or more. So that is 10 or 15 or 20, because those are the possibilities we have here. So let me just add 0.27 into my table, and I'm going to delete these. I don't need them anymore. So the probability of selling at least 10 cheesecakes, that's the probability of selling 10 or 15 or 20. Since I'm saying or, I have to add all of these probabilities up. So the probability of 10 plus the probability of 15 plus the probability of 20, or you can just say the sum and then highlight all of them. And let me change that to a number. I don't want it to be a percentage, so let me just do comma style, and then I'm going to add decimals just to make sure the answer is 0.53. So 0.53 is the answer. What is the probability of selling 5 or 15? 5 or 15, that is the probability of 5 plus the probability of 15. So the probability of 5 is 0.32 plus the probability of 15 is 0.27, and the answer is 0.59. What is the probability of selling 25 cheesecakes? The probability is 0 because they don't sell 25 cheesecakes in a day. So that is, it's not present here. So that means we do not have a probability for it, which means the probability is 0. Impossible. Give the expected number. So the expected value or the expected number is basically the mean of distribution. In order to find the expected number of cheesecakes sold in a day using the distribution, the discrete probability distribution, we're going to use the sum product. So this is equal to sum product of the number of cheesecakes sold, comma, the probabilities. So highlight each row and then click enter, and that is the expected number of cheesecakes sold, 9.25. And then what is the probability of selling at most 10 cheesecakes? So at most 10 cheesecakes, that means 10 or less. That is the probability of 10 plus the probability of 5 plus the probability of 0. And that goes like that. So probability of 10 plus the probability of 5 plus the probability of 0. These probabilities tend to click in our brains differently. So at most and at least, you need to pause and think before you act and find the answer. So that is basically the answer for this question, and similar questions, you should apply the same concepts.